my dear students. Welcome back to your English class. Today in this video, we are going to learn very important topic, that is literary devices. This will help you to appreciate any literary work. So let us begin our topic. What are literary devices? Literary devices are the narrative techniques which are used by the writers to express their ideas and to enhance their writing. So, in other words, we can say that literary devices are the figures of speech which makes the language beautiful. So, the different literary devices help readers to appreciate, to interpret and analyze a literary work. Clear? Why do we need to learn literary devices? Because it will help us to appreciate and to understand any literary text that we are going to read in a better way. So, our first literary device is simile. A simile draws resemblance or comparison between two things using as or like. For example, she ran like the wind. In this example, a girl is being compared to wind. That when a girl is running, she runs so fast that it is compared to the wind. Here we have used like, so here we have used simile. His eyes were as blue as the sky. In this, we are comparing the color of the eyes of a boy with the sky. Clear? Our next literary device is metaphor. A metaphor compares two similar things by saying that one of them is the other. How? For example, he is a shining star. We are saying that a boy is a shining star. How can a boy be a star? Just by his works. But here we are comparing a boy with the shining star. But we are not using any comparison word. We are directly saying that boy is a shining star. The snow is a white blanket. Here we are comparing the snow with a white blanket. We are saying that snow is a white blanket and boy is a shining star. We are not comparing them using like or as we did in simile. Clear? Okay. Our next literary device is alliteration. What is alliteration? Okay, let me start with a tongue twister. She saw a seesaw at the seashore. Yes? Yes. You have heard about a lot of tongue twisters. All these tongue twisters are examples of alliteration. How? Because alliteration describes a series of words in quick succession that all starts with the same letter or sound. As I have discussed one tongue twister, let me give you one more example. Love's Labours Lost. This is a title of a poem. In this, the sound of L and the letter L both are repeated. So here we have used alliteration. Now let us come to our next device, that is anaphora. If we are repeating a single letter, then it is alliteration. But if it is the repetition of a word or a phrase at the beginning of a series of clauses or sentences, then we call it anaphora. For example, you tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at the poking fun at weaklings. So, in this example, a word you is repeated at the beginning of every sentence. So, here the poet has used anaphora. Clear? Our next literary device is personification. Personification is used when a human trait is used to describe a non-human thing. For example, the flowers are dancing beside the lake. If we talk in general, it is a trait of human beings that they dance. Dancing is a trait of human beings. But here, this trait is given to a known human thing, that is flowers. In this example, flowers are dancing. So, the author has used the literary device personification. Let us discuss one more example. If I say, have you seen my new car? She is a real beauty. Here, car is a known living thing, or you can say non-human thing. But the car is being called as she, which is used for humans. So, the car is personified here. Clear? So, let's move to our next, that is irony. What is irony? It is use of words in such a way in which the intended meaning is completely opposite to their literal meaning. What does it mean? The writer wants to say one thing, but he uses contradictory words. This means that what a writer has written is completely opposite from what he wants to say. For example, the bread is as soft as a stone. Here, the writer is comparing a bread to a stone. Bread is soft, stone is hard. He has written the bread is soft, but he refers to the hardness of something. Clear? Let us discuss it with another example, that is, so nice of you to break my promise. If someone breaks your promise, will you appreciate? No. So, in this sentence, when the writer is saying, so nice of you to break my promise, he is using irony. He is not happy, but he is appreciating to break his promise. Clear? Our next literary device is hyperbole. This is exaggerating a statement or idea to emphasize a point or emotion. For example, this bag weighs a ton. What does it mean? Yes, it means the weight of the bag cannot be a ton, but It is showing the pressure or the heaviness of the bag. That's why he has exaggerated the weight of the bag. If his teeth were any whiter, I'd be blind. He says the teeth cannot be so white that they can make a person blind. But in this, the poet has exaggerated the statement. Clear? Next one is imagery. If someone tells you a story, sometimes you can just imagine the story with your eyes shut. Am I right? Yes. In the same manner, a writer uses this imagery in his works just to create visual representations of actions, objects, or ideas in our mind in such a way that they appeal to our physical senses. Let us talk about a situation where your best friend has watched a movie and you did not get a chance to go to see that movie, and when your friend explained the whole story of the movie in front of you, you can imagine yourself, you find yourself among all those characters, and you can very well imagine all the actions, all the characters of the story, right? So this is imagery. For example, the room was dark and gloomy. Here these two words, dark and gloomy, are the visual images. And if we talk about another example, the river was roaring in the mountains. We can clearly hear the sound of the river, the water in the river, in the mountains. So this pleases our sense of hearing. Clear? Okay, let's move to our next literary device, that is repetition. What is repetition? As the name suggests, in this the author repeats the same words or phrases a few times to make an idea clearer and more memorable. It is used to emphasize its significance. For example, you have a poem in your syllabus, that is Wind. In that poem, a word crumbling is repeated to lay emphasis on the fact that the wind crushes everything that is weak. So, whenever a word or a phrase is repeated a few times, there we can say that the author has used the literary device repetition. Clear? Our last literary device is oxymoron. It is a device that puts two contradictory ideas together to create a special effect. How? For example, open secret. A secret that is not supposed to tell everyone, right? But if I am saying open secret, it means a secret that is open. These two are completely contradictory things. Clear? Let us discuss second example, that is liquid gas. A thing that is liquid cannot be a gas, and a gas cannot be a liquid. Clear? I hope all the literary terms are clear to you now. So, whenever you read any text, you can use all these literary terms to interpret that. So, With this, I would like to take a leave